Well, humility is good, but unnecessary humility, losing the self-confidence, what is not required, is not good. Krishna has given us life. He also created some part of it. He also created the fundamental nature of our self-confidence, a good self-confidence that can be received, that can be embraced in our life with all humility. Having natural humility in Krishna consciousness doesn't necessarily mean at all that I cannot do it. I am so disqualified. Okay, that I have no right to have self-confidence, that I don't deserve any self-confidence. No. Conception of humility in the life of Krishna consciousness, I repeat, the conception of real humility, or befitting humility or humbleness in the life of pure Radha Krishna consciousness never indicates any kind of negative weakness, any kind of unnecessary feelings of guilt or a low self-confidence, which is called weakness, but rather it teaches us, such humility encourages us, inspires us to be devoting ourselves, to be flowing in beautiful Radha Krishna consciousness with devotional spirit, devotional mood, in a humble way, but with devotional self-confidence, a devotional hankering, efforts, endeavors, self-confidence. It never teaches us or inspires us to have any lacking of self-confidence. Because basically the very nature of beautiful, very powerful Radha Krishna consciousness is full of power, opposite to any kind of weakness or lacking. It is full of optimism against pessimism. So, feelings in humbleness or with humility, feelings of some disqualification or some non-deserving temperament which is manifested through humbleness, humility, is not necessarily, it's a feelings of real disqualification, real non-deserving, but it is a feelings of certain type of disqualification which is not influenced by false pride, over self-aggrandizement, any kind of vanity or arrogance. That's what it is. Vaishnava way of humbleness, Vaishnava ways are characters of humbleness, humility. It teaches us not to have false pride, eliminating our false pride or vanity, our false ego, our over-exaggerated, arrogant ways of feelings, egotistic way of feelings. But at the same time, in other words, so Vaishnava way of humbleness, humility actually teaches us, frees us, liberates us from all kinds of false notions. False pride, vanity, arrogant egos, egotistic feelings. I am really disqualified, I am feeling I am so qualified. So it liberates us from that. But it never tells us or never discourages us from having our natural pride, our natural, qualifications, endeavors, making endeavors with some natural self-confidence, a loving, devotional self-confidence to relate to, connect with Krishna Radhika. It never discourages us to have our natural heartfelt loving connection, loving endeavor, a loving devotional endeavor to engage in loving service to Radha Krishna. Rather, it makes us more optimistic, hopeful. Such humility, such humbleness makes us, inspires us, very optimistic, hopeful, but free of false ego, arrogant ego, unnecessary false pride, deluded pride, illusory deluded pride, pride of influenced by delusions, illusions, falseness, the vanity, ego, which is under the influence of illusion, delusion, over-exaggeration, arrogance, arrogant conception of myself, over-exaggerated conception of myself. That is what, that character, that portion of the ego, that character of the ego or pride, means that false character of the ego and the pride has to be eliminated and be humble. Only that part, the negative portion, the negative aspect of our false ego, false pride, over-exaggerated feelings, over self-confidence feelings out of some arrogance, has to be eliminated. That gets eliminated through Vaishnava way of humbleness, Vaishnava character of humility, but it never takes away our natural deserving quality, natural deserving feelings, never takes away our natural feelings of loving appreciation and devotion, devotional effort to connect to Krishna, to connect with Krishna Radhika. If Vaishnava humility or humbleness also takes away that, then what remains? What remains? Then we lose all inspiration, all encouragement, all inspiration. Thinking we're completely unqualified and non-deserving, we're full of guilt, full of sins, there's no good quality in me, so I cannot even deserve, so let me not do it. So let me not do it. It discourages us so much, disappoints us, makes us filled with so much hopelessness, feelings. Then I cannot even start doing any sadhana. I cannot even start making any devotional effort to relate to my beloved Lord, beloved mistress, Srimati Radhika, beloved Lord. I cannot make any heartfelt effort to connect, to relate to beloved God and Goddess, to engage in their services. So how can I serve in the first place? How can I engage in the cultivation of the life of Krishna consciousness with some devotional service? Because I am unqualified from the beginning to end. I have no base. I have no any scope, any ground to even start. No, then it is too much. That will be the wrong application of Vaishnava humility. That will be a wrong application. Unnecessary, misapplication of the Vaishnava humility or humbleness. Yes. So, Vaishnava character of humility, humbleness is like noble hero. Noble heroic character. Found in Lakshmana, Hanumanji, Arjuna, Ramachandra, the epitome, super excellent epitome of power and gentleness. Power and noble gentleness. Nobly gentle character. Peaceful character. So, why am I spontaneously feeling like explaining, giving some illuminations on this principle? But sometimes there is a fine line. Sometimes there is some fine difference. It's a very subtle thing to differentiate how should I act in humbleness. When we are required to have humbleness, we are also required to have Vaishnava character of humility. Need to be humble, and in the process of feeling that humbleness, humility, as we eliminate our false pride, not a befitting pride, false pride, over-exaggerated pride, a false ego, arrogance, it is very good. That's what it is meant for. Vaishnava humility is meant for, freeing us from that. But that doesn't mean I should be eliminating my natural pride, my natural qualification. Maybe it's little, but still I have something. It's not that God has created us bankrupt. Never that. Krishna has created us bankrupt, completely destitute, very poor way, without any qualification, without even power of love and our good feelings to relate to Him. He created us with no qualifications. No. Then God would be so unkind. He would be doing so much injustice. He would become so unkind, and He would be doing so much injustice. He will be defined as so non-merciful. So that cannot be the character of God, and that is not the real character. That's not the real character of the creation. The Supreme God, this Supreme Absolute Divine Truth has created us endowed with many beautiful qualifications. Some beautiful abilities, beautiful qualifications to live our life. He also endowed us with some free will to be living our life nicely, naturally, nicely, happily. So, I repeat, we are all the jivas are already created by the Supreme Absolute Divine Truth, our Supreme Lord, endowed with some free will, blessed with some basic qualifications. By properly utilizing what? We can advance a lot. We can thrive a lot. We can make so much progress and make so much advancement, development. And on the contrary, by misusing what? We can also invite so much trouble. We can also go down so much. Both ways are open. Depending on whether we are going to misuse our free will, misuse our qualifications, or properly use them. if we keep on misusing whatever qualifications and ability, capacities given in our life, given to us, granted by the Supreme Absolute Truth, Supreme Creator, is actually meant for the misuse, actually or completely meant for the proper use, for its highest utility. But when misusing our free will and notion, we engage misusing those nice qualities, capabilities, strength, then that brings bad, detrimental results in life. Instead of inviting good, that invites trouble, harm, bad things in life. So we have to be careful. But again, it's not that the Supreme Creator created us with no qualification, no ability, no capacity. He did. He created with a lot of good qualities, lot of good energies, good qualifications. Some characters, good capacities, so that we deserve a higher life divine, so that we can truly deserve to make advancement in life, to be more elevated, more progressive, more developed towards the life of divinity, okay, in connection with life divine. So, back to the point. We have no real reason to think, to feel out of so-called humbleness or humility. We are bankrupt, we are destitute, we have nothing, we cannot do anything. That can bring pessimism. That's not the aim of Vaishnava humility. But again, let me explain through the examples, it becomes clearer. Vaishnava humility is that one of the meanings of Vaishnava humbleness, humility is that to address yourself, to relate to yourself as you are, while you have shortcomings in the fields you need to develop, you need to improve, need to be more improving, address it properly, realistically, and feel humble, but never ever give up making your advancement, making progress. Humbleness doesn't mean be sunk totally in pessimism, disappointment, but just accept the reality as it is, that you have qualification, but it's very meager. It's very little. You need to develop it more. You need to work it out on that more. Okay. So, addressing the reality of your life, the standard of your qualities and capability as it is, no more, no less. Accepting it as it is, not trying to overestimate you, and also never underestimate you. Accept the reality as it is, okay, as it is, as you feel sincerely. You can feel about your own self, your own capability, qualification sincerely to yourself. So as you can feel about yourself, about your capacity, capability, qualification sincerely, just accept it. Free of false pride, false ego. Never make overestimation. It will be false pride. Also don't make underestimation. Then you will lose everything. Then you have You have no chance. You have nothing. God has not created us with nothing, zero. Never. He has created us well equipped with so many qualifications, capacities. That's why we are living our life. We are able to live our life in this universe. So, be yourself with all open-mindedness, open-heartedness, free of false pride, false ego, arrogance. Recognize yourself as you are. Be yourself as you are, free of overestimation and underestimation. Okay. When you have something, even a little qualification, little capacity, also recognize it. Yes, I have got something. I am not totally disqualified. I have got something, some qualification which I can offer in relation to my Supreme Beloved Lord, which I can use, make best utility, best use in connection with the loving service to the Supreme Lord. I do have some qualification, maybe minute, maybe little, can be small, but still I have something. And when I develop, when I capitalize on that qualification, being freed of false ego, false pride, but still continue to capitalize on that with my real recognition about myself, free of false pride, and also free of underestimating conception. Just recognize myself as I am. Okay, according to the standard, I have got the qualification, deserving qualification. As according to the level of the capacity I have got, as it is, then it is very fine. It is never against Vaishnava humility. Rather, it is complementary to Vaishnava humility. Because often, some of the devotees get confused. They continue to be feeling so much guilt and negative feelings, I cannot do anything, all these, and makes themselves weak. But clear conceptions are required, therefore. The clear Siddhanta, proper Siddhanta, proper lights of the Siddhanta is required, proper justification, proper considerations, proper understanding, definitions, conceptions about the potent Vaishnava humility, potent, powerful Vaishnava humbleness need to be understood. Gaur Hari Bol. It's like that, like what we find in the character of Hanumanji. So humble, so gentle, so devoted, so sweet. At the same time, Bajrang Bali. Very powerful. In the character of Lakshmana. What to speak more of in the character of noble Lord Ramachandra. So, in the noble Emperor Ambarish Maharaj, greatly powerful king, but full of Vaishnava humbleness. Ambarish Maharaj. We find such noble characteristics in Arjuna, Lakshmana, Ambarish Maharaj, Hanumanji, and many other exalted devotees of the Lord throughout the time. It's a character of noble hero. It's noble, it's that of very noble, kind, compassionate, powerful, heroic character I'm talking about. what we see in the character of a powerful hero, magnanimous, noble hero, very gentle. The way they act, very gentle, sweet, very gentle, sweet, kind way. At the same time, they are very powerful. That makes them more beautiful. That makes their strength and power beautified. That makes the difference between Gunda and the heroes. That discriminates, clearly discriminates between the Gunda and the heroes. Evils and the noble heroes. So, our Vaishnava humility actually flows, harmoniously flows with the noble heroic characters. Heroic characters. Not with the really, negatively, hopelessly weak characters of weakness. You are having the sun on your face. You can come so that I don't want you to feel disturbed or distracted. Also, you are having rays of sunlight on your face. Move a little.
He's shining. It became illuminated, like from inside.
Perfect. See how I spontaneously starting speaking today's Harikatha is because of this. Because of this, in the beginning when I started singing Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, or singing Mahamantram, without the help of harmonium or anything. So in the beginning, I noticed all of you were not exactly in tune, slowly getting into. So in the beginning, you are all not in tune, properly not attuned, but still kept on trying to be singing sincerely. And then at some point, very soon, I found all of you are singing nicely. All of you already got entuned, at least 70% entuned to 80%. 80% entuned. I can even say the last portion, 90% entuned. And singing so nicely, beautifully, without any harmonium, without anything. What it means. So in the beginning, it's like that many of you, we are not so sure. We are not sure how can I sing it. We are not so sure about how to be attuned with that melody, how to be properly attuned or in tune, finely in tune with the melody. So there's some little lack of self-confidence. I can do it or not, all this. But still, something very positive and good quality sin that you are all trying. You never gave up. You kept on trying and trying. And the result of trying, receipt. The same yourselves who in the beginning could not be singing the Mahamantra with the same melody. We could not be singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, attuned with the melody. But in the middle point, as you carried on, as you continued in the middle part to the last part, you improved and improved. At some point, you almost got attuned. Get in tune. So what it says we should never give up. No matter, even if we are disqualified, no matter how much disqualified I am, even if such is the case. This is a little example, but very significant. If this is the case, I have very minute qualification. I have qualification, very little. very minute, very small. So I cannot do it. No. Okay. We can recognize when we have this minute, we have small, little qualification. Let us address, let us recognize, let us accept that we have got small qualification. But that doesn't necessarily mean that spark of fire cannot be converted into blazing fire. Presently I have got small qualification, small level, small standard, minute quality qualification. Doesn't necessarily mean I cannot grow that qualification further. I cannot improve it. I can definitely improve. I can definitely develop more. I can definitely advance more, blossom more. That is there. Okay, so one of the very significant instructions and directions of our revered and most beloved Lord, our revered and top beloved Lord, Master Lord Krishna is this: never give up. Be never giving up. Keep on trying. It will happen. It's just a small example here now. But this is a truth. It explains the truth of life. When at this starting point, while we are trying, we are all trying, it's not happening. You are not exactly attuned or in tune with it, not really flowing, not really flowing with attunement. Okay, it's not clicking, it's not happening, but you are not giving up. This is what we want. This is a very positive sign. You are not giving up. Because you are not giving up, you keep on trying with sincerity, with open-heartedness, with the intention to do it. Not with the intention, giving up, be lazy and go away, run away. No. Opposite. With the sincere intention to do it. To have that. To sing properly. To sing properly with all sincerity and some sincere devotional feelings. As you keep on trying, you are receiving a result in few moments. And it proves you can do it. We all can. What we cannot do in the beginning of our trial, endeavor, same we can do it as we continue further with all our sincerity and proper endeavor. Okay, then we can do it. We can make it. Can be more properly in tune. Can have more proper attunement, fine tuning, and then we know what it is. Same us, now growing the more harmonious way, through harmonious development, and we're able to do it. Everything in life more or less like that. What's happening? Please come and stay. Be sitting. Anybody coming, going?
Yes.
Because it can affect the fine tuning.
You come or not come?
Yes.
No. It's like catching the fine radio frequency, TV frequency. If you're a little bit this way, that way, frequency is gone. When we are discussing about something very natural but fine, fine tuning of listening to it also required. The fine tuning, harmonious fine tuning between the speaker and the listeners is required. Sometimes it happens like you are a musician. musicians can easily understand when they are in a concert, when they are in a beautiful, melodious, musical concert. Okay? As long as you're flowing, harmoniously flowing, playing the music in a proper way. I repeat, as long as you are playing the music in a properly in tuned way, harmoniously, it is so ecstatic. It is so pleasant, beautiful, ecstatic. But if one makes a little mistake, goes out of tune, and if it is a prominent way of playing out of tune, it can bring some disturbance in the whole concert. See, fine difference. Only one reed, semi-reed difference. But you can go out of tune. Also, the chance is there. As long as you're flowing, playing in the proper tuning with the full entunement, okay? So harmonically, in full harmony, it's a very beautiful musical presentations. Everybody enjoying, so happy, so pleasing. But sometimes when one is not properly attentive, due to some absent-mindedness, unmindfulness or anything, goes out of tune, it disturbs the music. So, that possibility also there. Now many are already discussing, the big accident, plane accident happened in India. Many are discussing whether it is human error or not. Even if it was a human error, it was just a momentary error. But that costed so much. Just a momentary error. Not willfully done. If it was a human error, if the momentary mistake can cause so much problem. So we need to be very careful. But never giving up, but carefully dealing. Without giving up our efforts, we need to be continuing, but with so much care, attention, fine-tuning. Not going out of the tune. Not going out of the tune, out of harmony. When we can discover, the more and more we can be discovering the arts of living a harmonious life, art of living our life in harmony with the universal creation ecosystem, then we can, comparatively, we can live a better, healthier, more beautiful life. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And we have got enough reasons to become very optimistic about that. But side by side, there are also possibilities of making misuse, improper use. Then, when we start flowing in such a way, with everything misused and misused, in other words, when we start misusing things in our life, then things go wrong, things start also happening opposite way to the goodness, opposite way to the healthy life. It brings more trouble, harm, all these negative things. So both possibilities are there, side by side in our life. Therefore, Lord Krishna, one of Lord Krishna's essential principal directions is that never be living your life under the mode of ignorance. Be living your life in the lights of knowledge, higher knowledge, wisdom, in the lights of, guided by the lights of higher consciousness and divine wisdom. He also says, never be letting you down. Be promoting yourself properly with all optimistic feelings. Never be letting yourself down. Never be letting yourself to become weak, feeble. Never be letting yourself. Hare Krishna. Happy to see you. Welcome. So, never be letting yourself to be downtrodden. Okay. To be
Nothing to
nice and tuning. Helping me to have fine tuning. Let me be waiting. I should be waiting to have more fine tuning. Welcome. More supposed to come?
Who knows?
not for now.
Alright. So, I repeat, one of the essential directives of Lord Krishna is that never let you down, never let you be hopeless, okay, pessimistic. Never let you be doubtful, because samshayatma vinashrati. Never let you be doubtful. Never let you be living in the bliss of ignorance. Be living in the bliss of wisdom, divine consciousness, wisdom, and not living under the illusion of the bliss, under ignorance. Because that is self-cheating, self-depriving. It's not real bliss. It's the illusion of the bliss produced by the ignorance. Often sinful ignorance. Often ignorance is not innocent. When we speak of ignorance, we may not always think of, oh, ignorance means innocent. So it is completely innocent. It's not always the case. There are some ignorance that of innocent nature, but there are also ignorance which is indulged with some sinful motivations, sinful karma. So that kind of ignorance is considered sinful ignorance instead of innocent ignorance. So sinful ignorance is very, very hard to be forgiven. It's practically not forgiven. Innocent ignorance can be forgiven by the compassionate Lord, by the higher laws of nature. But sinful ignorance, practically never forgiven. They have to pay for it because it's willful, sinful. I know I am doing wrong, still I am doing. There are many such cases. I know well. I've got the knowledge, like taking intoxication or addiction. I know very well it is very detrimental to my health. Still I am going on, continuing doing that. That is called sinful. The character of sinful ignorance, so-called ignorance. See, when I can sense, I can feel through my intuition, this is no good for me. This is not okay for me. Still I'm taking the excuse. Okay, let me do one more time. It's okay, nothing will happen really. I can manage. Oh, little harm will come, but anyway, I can manage, but I feel so addicted. I should go for it. This is called example of sinful ignorance. Even upon knowing that I am inviting a lot of trouble, lot of harm to my life, I am becoming enemy to myself instead of becoming true friend to myself. Still I am indulging into that activity and inviting more troubles. That is sinful ignorance. Inviting more troubles to me or causing troubles to others, sinful. Mode of sinful ignorance. Anyway, back to the point. Now I am going to tell you, explain with the scripture references what I am talking. See, one of the one of the great essential directives of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, whole Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and also even Srimad Bhagavatam. Wake up, rise up, have your own treasure, your nectarine treasure of Krishna consciousness in your life. You can be claiming for that even. You can be deserving and lovingly claiming, devotionally claiming your nectarine wealth of Krishna consciousness in your life. You deserve it because ultimately you are parts and parcel of Krishna. You are none other than a particle, parts and parcel of Krishna, children of Krishna. Okay, so, but misguided. Swami Prabhupada explained, separated parts and parcel with misguided children. The children of the parents, I'm talking of the ideal parents, of course, not torturing parents, ideal parents, who are very loving and caring parents. So children, sometimes some of the children of the ideal parents also, they drift away, they go away. Some can be very good children, some can be, little bad children, prodigal sons, they go away, they drift away for a while, and then again they rectify, they get rectified, purified, and come back to the proper way to relate to their parents, again with faith, respect, and love. So often we find examples of prodigal sons. In Christianity is also discussed. Parable of the prodigal sons. So that makes some difference between good children and prodigal children. So even when we are prodigal children, it doesn't mean we can never become very disciplined and loving, submissive, devoted children to my divine parents, divine couple, Radha Krishna. We can be, can definitely be, through purifications and through wanting to become my best friend, by sincere wanting, real wanting to do good to myself, to benefit myself. We can do it. See, one of the essences of all the holy scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Vedanta is that wake up, rise up. Wake up, be open your eyes to the divine vision of your divine prospect, infinite divine prospect of the beautiful life divine in connection with the supreme divine absolute. Open up your eyes to the divine lights of the hope of your eternal, ambrosial, divine life in relation to the supreme absolute divine truth. Wake up in that divine consciousness. Wake up, arise. Rise up. Be elevated with that immortal, nectarine divine consciousness that you never die, that you have got so much nectarine perspective, so much you have got so much immortal nectarine prospect, divine prospects of life. You can own so much divine treasure of life in relation to the supreme absolute divine Lord. You can make your life so divine, so beautiful, divinely beautiful and blissful and powerful. It is possible for you. Simply wake up, rise up, and open up Open your mind and heart in relation to the Supreme Absolute Divine Lord, the source of infinite power, beauty, knowledge and bliss. Then you can also be blossoming. You can also be so much developing and blossoming positively in that divine connection, with that divine connection. See, from Upanishad, Uttishthataha, Jagrataha, Prapo Varan Nibodhataha. Uttishthata, Uttishthata, Jagrata. Arise. Arise or rise up. Never saying, go down. Arise, be arising, rise up. Uttishthata, Jagrata. Be wakeful, wake up. Prapo Varan Nibodhata. You have got so much ambrosial capital, treasure in your life, in your eternal, immortal life, divine, waiting for you. So much prospect waiting for you. Okay, in a prospective way. Go for it. Be going for it with all your sincerity and hankering. With all your sincerity and hankering, please be going for it and ultimately have it. Have that nectarine wealth, nectarine treasure, nectarine divine treasure of ecstatic loving service, ecstatically devotional love relationship with the Supreme Absolute Good, Supreme Absolute Beautiful Divine in your life, and be fulfilled and fulfilled and fulfilled. Be blessed with all divine, ecstatically divine fulfillment and fulfillment. It is quite possible. He says, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in one of the verses saying, Vidyate hridaya granthi, chiddante sarva samsayaha, kshiyante chasya karmani, mai drishti akhilatmani. When you start receiving that real connection with that Supreme Absolute Divine Lord, even a little, even a glimpse, but genuine, even that is also good enough to liberate you, free you from the mortal bondage of this mundane world, of your mundane conditioning, can free you, liberate you from the mortal bondage, bindings of this limited mundane, mortal mundane conditionings. Vriddati hridaya granthi, chiddanti sarva samsaya. And side by side, it removes in you all kinds of doubts, fulfilling you with the lights of realizations, the lights of so much knowledge, divine knowledge and realizations, experience, that all your doubts of life are gone, are removed. Chiddanti sarva samsaya. It slashes all the connections of the doubts from your life. Chiddanti means it slashes, cuts off. In other words, such connection, such divine connection, destroys, removes, abolishes all kinds of doubts in your life. Because you become so self-effulgent, so self-illuminated with knowledge divine, experience, realization divine, that on that state, there are no more doubts. It's a doubtless state. Everything is full of conviction. Everything on that state, on the plane of perfection, even towards even in the path of perfection, before even reaching the goal, before even reaching our final destination, okay, it is considered like all our doubts being removed. If not in the beginning, in the very beginning stage, if not all doubts are removed, but it is in the process of getting removed and removed and removed. And while we reach the plane of perfection, our final goal of perfection, then on that plane, on that state, all doubts are gone. It's a plane characterized by doubtlessness. It's the plane of perfection. It's the plane of perfection with the character of doubtlessness. No doubt, full of positive self-conviction and conviction and conviction, full of positive self-confidence and confidence and confidence. Such blessed life, such blessed plane of perfection, blessed life. The Lord Krishna says, the opposite way, a life full of doubts and doubts slowly or quickly lead towards death. But a life of positive self-conviction, confidence, hopefulness, optimism, enlightened by the wisdom, divine knowledge, leads towards the life, opposite to death, leads us towards living a higher and higher life, positive life. See. So, vidyate hridaya granthi, siddhante sarva samshayaha, kshiyante chasya karmani. As a result, all our sinful karma gets destroyed. Kshiyante chasya karma. By the result of the attainment of divine connections with Krishna, in other words, by the result of the attainment of even some genuine connection, divine connection with Krishna, Lord Krishna, Radhika, by its holy power, all our sinful karma means the sinful reactions of our sinful activity all becomes destroyed, gets destroyed. In other words, we are liberated from all the effects of the sinful karma. Hiyante chasya karmani. Then, finally, on that state of life, Mayi dishti akhilatmani, that fortunate he, or most fortunate she, starts seeing me all over, all around, starts seeing me, feeling my presence, my divine presence as omniscient, omnipresent Lord. So, on that state, that fortunate Jiva soul begin to see me everywhere, see me, visualize me, seeing my presence, feeling my presence all around, all over. Then I am never lost. On that state, I am never lost from their eyes because they become connected with my consciousness. I mean, they can see me, Mayi dishti akhilatmani. They can see me, visualize me, have vision of mine all around, all over, all around. Can be in energy form, in Brahma way, Parang Brahma form, also can be personal form, both ways. But ultimately seeing me, none other than me, might be in Brahma way, Parang Brahma energy form, all pervading, beautiful, cosmic divine power, in energy form as Parang Brahma, or seeing me as Paramatma, as all pervading super soul, which is keeping everything alive, which is maintaining and sustaining all the lives, all the whole creation, super soul, or finally, ultimately, seeing me, okay, having my vision as the person, supreme person of all that infinite, all-pervading, immortal, divine energy, as God, Bhagavan. While seeing the personality in that all-pervading, universal, divine power, all-pervading, infinite, universal superpower, then it becomes God. That all-pervading, universal superpower, unlimited power, also has got personality, has got persona. It cannot be just some kind of inert, blind force, blind power, but it has full personality. Being a small particle of what we have personality, being a small particle of which origin, I am also a person. If I have personality, if I am a person, my divine origin, my own limitless origin also have the same character. Difference is, I am very minute and he is just opposite, very big. That's the difference. But effect proves the cause also. As becoming a small effect, small particle of that infinite origin, divine origin. If I can be a person, I have personality. My origin doesn't have personality, cannot be. Okay? My cause also have the same, and I am inheriting from that source. So it is just proven self-evidently. It is proven in a self-evident way that my cause, my origin also has got personality, like the way I also have. But I am minute, and he or supreme C is very big. That way. So back to the point. Moi drishti akhilat mani. Srimad Bhagavatam. On that state, on that blessed state of fulfillment or going to have fulfillment, close to be having fulfillment, one becomes so qualified that he or she can see me, feel my presence all around, and also within him, outside him. And he becomes situated in my eternal consciousness, immortal, nectarine consciousness. See, so positive. These verses speak of so much positive gain, full of hope and hope. See, those great hymns we all know. Our nature of prayer from the Vedanta, world of the Vedanta Upanishad. Om Asatu Ma Shat Gamaya Tamashu Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mritrur Ma Amritam Gamaya. O Supreme Lord, O merciful Divine Lord, please lead me from mortality towards immortal nectarine life. Please lead me from mortality to immortality. Please lead me from darkness towards light. Meaning, please lead me from the darkness of ignorance of this mundane existence towards yourself, enlightening existence of my life, enlightening self of mine. I repeat, enlightening, illuminated self of mine in your connection, my Lord. So in that sense, please lead me from darkness towards light. Please, tamasho ma jyotirgamaya mritor mam amritangama. Please be leading me from death towards deathlessness, from death towards life immortal, immortal life divine. See, all such beautiful verses are there to tell us that we have got so much bright prospect. We have got so much gain. We deserve. We can be qualified to have so much gain in our life, so much high class gain, super excellent gain of life, transcending our limits, making efforts after efforts, provided that the sincere efforts, endeavors must go on, never to be given up. Without giving up, our sincere efforts, endeavor must be continuing, one after another, like ocean waves, like the streams of the river, like the waves of the ocean, one after another. That is called sadhana. Now simply connecting to some of the verses of Bhagavad Gita, as how Lord Krishna is encouraging us. Nehabhi kramanashasti pratvabayo naviddhati salpamapyasya dharmasya trayati mahato bhayat. Nehabhi kramanashasti pratvabayo naviddhati salpamapi dharmasya trayati mahato bhayat. Endeavoring to connect with the life of Krishna consciousness, sincerely endeavoring to engage in connection with Krishna, relate with Krishna, engage in service to Krishna, never depletes anything, never depletes or causing any diminution or any kind of reduction in your life. It never brings any loss. I repeat, having a devotional connection with the Supreme Lord Krishna, engaging in the life of devotional service to Krishna, connecting with Krishna with faithful, loving service, loving devotion, never causing any depletion or any kind of loss. Every point of that causing gain and gain, whether or not you immediately realize, whether or not you can immediately perceive it, but it happens. It brings your higher divine virtue. It accumulates higher divine virtues in life. So never think it goes in vain. Such efforts can go in vain, or you can be loser. Just you are trying for nothing. It's never that. That you are trying for nothing happening. Never that. Okay, you never become loser, but rather you start gaining in a fine way. If not immediately visible, but still it's happening in visible way. At some point of your life, it will come on the surface. When it will come on the surface of your perception, then you will realize how much virtues you have gained, how much merits, capital you have gained from such devotional activities. So nehabhikramana shasti prattavayo navidyate. There cannot be any loss. Prattavaya is ensure. There cannot be any loss, any reduction, any depletion. Any depletion of your energy in this way. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj often said, in a beautiful, simple, beautiful way, he said, service, service, service. Service is our life. Never give up service. Endeavor, be endeavoring to engage in any way, engaging in some love service to Krishna, knowing that you are becoming the best friend of yourself by doing so. Service never depletes your energy. Rather, it brings so much in your life in return. But you will be experiencing it later on certain state when you get qualified to experience. But be sure your engagement in service to the Lord never depletes your energy. It works oppositely. It works just in opposite way. It brings so much good fortune, so much higher fortune, so much good, higher benefits in your life. And at some point, at some state of your life, you can directly perceive of it. You can feel blessed of it. You'll be feeling so much blessed with immense, infinite gratitude towards the Supreme Lord to bless you in such a way. So, nehabhi kamana shasti prattavayo navidyate. And in the next line says, salpam apesha dharmasya trayate mahuto bhaya. Even the little connection, even the small connection, little connection with Lord Krishna, even the little connection of living life in Krishna consciousness, doing something for Krishna. In other words, even your little endeavor to do something for Krishna with some feelings of love can liberate you. No, it's so powerful, can liberate you from the most danger of your life. Can liberate you from the great danger of mortality of your mundane life. Trayati means can liberate you. Mahato bhayat, from the great fear. Can liberate you, can deliver you. How do you say? Yes. Can liberate you from the great fear of your mortality, of your mortal life. Trayati mahato bhayat. Can free you totally from the great fear of your mortal existence. See, here fear means, you have to understand, we need to understand a poetic sense, poetic philosophical sense. Because every moment on our mundane existence, on the mundane plane of our life, mundane plane of existence, we are always faced with different types of fear all the time. We are always faced with different kinds of fear. Okay, anxiety all the time in different forms. So here fear means great anxiety. Fear means great concerns of becoming loser. Great concerns of receiving trouble. These are all fears, different forms of fear. Fearing means having so much anxiety of, of some troubles going to come in my life, so much difficulties and troubles and, adversities, fear of losing power, position, fear of losing peace and happiness, health, fear of having so much trouble through sickness, being insulted. In this way, we on this limited mundane plane, on this limited plane of mortality, we are all more or less living in and under the world of different types of fears, different forms. So it's needless to mention further. And even in the slight, very little but genuine connection with Krishna consciousness, genuine connection, loving connection, devotional connection with Lord Krishna can liberate you from the life of such fear. It can actually happen in your life. You can be transcending such mortal limits and be situated in that divine world of all hopefulness, above fearfulness, above mortality. World of having fulfillment, happy fulfillment, delightful fulfillment. So salpam apasya dharmasya trayati mahatu bhayat. There is also another verse just appearing in my mind. Partha naiveho namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatin tato gacchati. Partha naiveho namutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatin tato gacchati. So Guru Maharaj often said, our sincerity is invincible. Well, this may not be implemented on this mundane plane of existence, on this mundane plane, because here is power of exploitation rules over. On this mundane plane, in other words, Guru Maharaj called it, Guru Varga called it as the land of exploitation, plane of exploitation. Here, the powers of exploiting mode, powers of exploitation actually work here. Cheating, tricks, and ways of the tricks and cheatings and exploitation, shrewd ways of cheating, all these work so much. But on the higher spiritual world in the divine world in transcendence, is just opposite. Their power of honesty, truthfulness, power of sincerity works. That works absolutely. Because that world is of opposite nature. So Guru Maharaj says, to cultivate, if you are sincere to cultivate your spiritual life, if you are sincere enough to be cultivating your life divine, be sincere. Be sincere in the first place. Be sincere to the best of your ability. Because sincerity on that plane, sincerity is invincible. Power of sincerity is invincible. Because on that plane of the highest truth, everything truthful, honest, everything good, sincere, works there, reigns there, rules out there. I repeat, on that plane of perfection, on the higher transcendental divine plane, the power of honesty, truthfulness, sincerity, and finally, loving devotion works absolutely. And there is no place of any cheating or deception, exploitation, untruthfulness. Absolutely no place there, no power. Opposed to the character of this mundane world. So, Parthanoi behana mutra vinasastasya viddhati nahi kallanakit kuschid durgating tato gacchati. Essentially meaning, one who truly means to do good to himself or herself, such pure effort can never go in vain. Such of his pure effort to do good to himself or herself, to bring the highest benefits to his life, can never go in vain. So one, I repeat, one who truly means to do good, to bring good to himself or herself in my connection, the absolute good, never becomes failure, never fails to attain it. He must attain that good of mine, he must attain that divine benefits at some point of his life without any fail. No hi kallanokit koschit durgating tato gacchati. So, again, the one who truly means to bring the highest good of mine in his life in relation to me, being situated in my connection, he cannot but receive that good ultimately. He cannot but be blessed with that highest good of mine, the highest benefits coming from me to his life without any fail. His or her, his life can never be miserable. His life ultimately can never end in misery. His life can never ultimately end in any kind of misery or any failure. He cannot but be blessed with the attainment of that highest good, which is me, through my connection. See, Lord Krishna explains, all in a positive way, saying, never give up endeavor. Continue, never be giving up your endeavors to relate with me. Another verse you all know. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadait atmaiva jhatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. So, Uddhared atmanatmanam. You liberate yourself by your own soul's power. In other words, you be liberating yourself by your own soul's ability, by your own deeper ability from the plane of your soul, deriving from soul. So, you be liberating yourself, be elevating yourself by utilizing the deeper power within yourself on the level of your soul, deriving from that divine plane. Natmanam avasadait, never let you down, never let you be disappointed, never let you be lost in hopelessness, in despair. Not manam abhusadayet. Never let yourself be lost in hopelessness. Never allow yourself, indulge yourself to be engulfed with disappointment, frustration. Never let yourself be lost in hopelessness, despair. Natmanam abhusadayet. Atmai bodhyat mano bandhu atmai varipuratma. You know that you are the best friend of yourself. Also you are the worst enemy of yourself. I repeat. Know that you can become the best friend to your own self. You can also become the worst enemy of yourself. Both options are there, choice there. So, please choose to become best friend to your own self and liberate yourself. Help liberating yourself by your own divine ability given by me on the plane of your soul. Find it out and liberate yourself with that. Be uplifting and elevating yourself to my higher consciousness. Never let you down. You can do it. You can do it. And by doing so, you can become a best friend to your own self. Never become your worst enemy. See, in all these directions, Lord Krishna is telling all his devotees, clearly telling all his devotees to become hopeful, to be developing more, thriving more, blossoming more in the light divine, with all spirits, with all hopefulness, optimistic, realistic, optimistic feelings, with the determination of never giving up, trying to connect with Krishna. Because you're trying, all your sincere trying, continued efforts will be turned into success at some point. Anything, even on the mundane plane, whenever we start doing something, just at the very starting point, we cannot say we are able to do everything very nicely, properly. No. We make a start somewhere. We make a start at some place, situation, somewhere. And then we keep on trying with the help of some guidance. Okay? We keep on trying, and then we keep on learning, then at some point we become more trained up and become more qualified to do the same thing in a more proper way, what same myself was unable to do in the beginning, in the initial stage, because I did not know anything. At that initial stage, I hardly knew anything, did not know much. I was not prepared. That's very initial stage, neophyte stage. But something I could do to give a try with sincere intuition. That's what I could do. To give a sincere try with all my good feelings to develop higher, make more advancement, to improve, and develop myself. And then it happened. As I continued my all trials, I continued my efforts with all sincerity. I started learning more and more and became more and more qualified, and then at some point I become successful. Okay? At least relatively I'm more successful compared to the beginning stage. So we cannot be judging ourselves. We can never be judging ourselves that we're qualified or disqualified just by the initial beginning. Cannot. The initial stage is initial. Initial means initial. Okay. So, neophyte state means neophyte. It's just very initial state, a small starting point. But it's a plantation of the seed. In the seed form, big fruit tree is there within a seed form. While the seed is properly sowed and cultivated with fertilizations, proper fertilizations, from that seed the whole big fruit tree with so many delicious fruits, nutritious, life-sustaining fruits can come. But one cannot judge that seed, just a small seed, ordinary throwaway. It will be great misjudgment. So, yes. So we have a lot of prospects. We've got a lot of divine prospects in life, in truth. All we need to do, continue with sincere efforts, sincere endeavor, with devotion, while praying for the grace, benevolent grace, mercy of Radha Krishna, Krishna Radhika, Mahaprabhu, Supreme, Absolute, Divine, Beautiful Lord. One day it will be bearing fruits. One day it will become successful. Definitely be bringing higher, divine, delicious fruits. Divinely fulfilling fruits of life. We will be blessed and blessed. So everything is like that. See, while a small baby is learning how to walk, so in his effort to be walking for the first time, for the first or second time, that baby walking a little bit, somehow standing, walking a little bit and falling on ground. Looks like as if it cannot walk. Okay, it appears to be, oh, baby is trying to walk, is falling on the ground, it may not be able to walk. But it's wrong. Falling on the ground, in the process of trying to be walking, the falling on the ground temporarily is also part of the walk. Part of the learning of the walking. So apparent falling, a baby's apparent falling on the ground during the process of walking, during the learning of walking, also a part, sign of advancement. Sometimes we will be making mistakes and falling on the ground. But again, by taking the support of the same ground, we have to stand up. A baby stands up by taking the support of the same ground, stands up, again starts walking. After a while, again falls down. Again takes the support of the ground, again stands up and starts walking. And then at some point, the same baby, which could not be walking properly in the first place, runs around. Running around, so much so, rearranging everything. Parents get fully occupied to keep control over those running babies, briskly running babies. Not only walking, now running. Again, while running, sometimes falling. In the mode of fast running, sometimes falling on the ground. Immediately get crying and getting up, again start running. And at some point of the running in a grown-up state, it doesn't fall down easily. Okay. So that's how it works. In every field of our life, it all starts from the initial stage through our simple efforts, sincere efforts. And all our continued sincere efforts converted into success. Converted into success of life. Attainment of success. The same truth is also found in the life of spiritual cultivations. Same truth is found in the world of higher spiritual cultivations. Life of devotion. See. So I was so happy to see, after some time the devotees could be singing that Mahamantra with the same melody, so nicely, harmoniously. So that might have spontaneously inspired me, that example, to be speaking out spontaneously in this way. Any question, any query related or unrelated to these topics? Or everyone feeling intense devotion to honor prasadam? Okay. It is not so hard to feel so devoted to taste the prasadam. Therefore, Srila Swami Prabhupada always laid special emphasis, special importance, delicious chanting and dancing, and also delicious prasadam together, combined, to keep the attraction. The question is?
Just no question actually. Just I wanted to say thank you for taking this topic, because through life as devotees, we often heard words of discouragement. How everything is difficult, everything, you cannot, you are not on that level, you are not allowed, you are not. Many times we are listening to this talk, and it's so good to hear this positive aspect.
Yes. Yes.
And this is so much important, I feel.
Yes. So our Guru Varga say, don't be weak person. Don't be following the weak persons. Be following the heroes. They say, just simply become the heroes and take all these life difficulties as adventure, with spirit of adventure, with the spirit of elite commandos. Instead of taking all these difficulties like ordinary person, face them like elite commandos. Divinely elite commandos. Take like adventure. You can learn so much. You can utilize those difficult periods in your life to be learning so much, educate yourself, and discriminating which ways of the life will be working out in favor of you and which will not be working out in your favor. You learn it, you learn how to discriminate, and you learn what to avoid and what to embrace. Which ones to be avoiding and which ones to embrace in your life. So, that's what the great lives do in their life. When you look into the nature of the life of the great lives, I repeat, when you look into the great lives, exalted lives, it's not that their life is so peaceful and happy from the beginning to end. No. Often, many of the exalted, successful lives also pass through a lot of difficulties and turmoil. But ultimately, they become victorious. Ultimately, they win. they become decorated with the victory of the success. So sometimes all the difficulties they pass through in their life become like ornamental to them, like in the soldier's life, elite commando's life. Ornamental. That makes the difference between ordinary lives and great lives. Where the ordinary people, ordinary lives collapse. But the great lives never collapse, never stops. They overcome by some deeper, superior ability. With the help of some superior ability from the level of their soul, and with the help and with the prayer, receiving some help from the prayer of grace from the Supreme Lord. Okay. The help of the power of their prayer, and with the prayer of receiving grace from the above, from the Divine Lord, while they also derive some deeper ability from their level of soul, super soul, without giving up to fight. And they overpower. At some point they pass through all the difficulties, even turmoil, and win the victory. Ultimately they are victorious. Instead of being overpowered, they overpower the difficulties. Win over. And there are a lot of examples of such great lives. If not too many by number, but there are many examples of such great lives, very successful, but who had to pass through a lot of difficulties and turmoil of life. Never collapsed. So, same things in life. When we face with ordinary attitude and spirit, becomes very difficult, very hard to take. But the very same things in our life, the same difficulties while we face with adventurous spirit of adventure, without being fearful of that, then it becomes much easier for us to pass through and take them and solve them. Okay, when one side of the river is breaking, another side of the river also manifesting, happening. When few sides of life not working well, we can find out or even make the other sides of the life which will be working out, and flow with that positive life. Instead of lamenting on the side of the failure, the ways of the life which are not working out, there's no point of lamenting. That situational is supposed to happen. Okay, try to rectify, try to improve. If that's not possible, just give up all those ways not working anymore. Find out other proper alternative ways which will be working out for you positively, which will help you to develop. So, not that the whole creation is only full of only negative, bad things. There are a lot of good things also. A lot of good sides, good aspects, positive side of development also in our life. So why don't we detach ourselves from the world of negative energy more and more, and be more attached with the world of positive energy, and flow, develop with that, instead of lamenting, being associated with the world of negative energy. Because that world is supposed to be causing more lamentation to you. There is no use for that. Be positive, be optimistic, and be associated with the world of positive energy, where the many people, many Jiva souls are growing up. They are growing up, developing, blossoming with positive energy. Okay? We should be associated, we should be the member of that world. We must become the member of the positive world of positive energy, and must resign from the world of negative energy. And many of our holy scriptures and instructions, directions of Supreme Lord Krishna are our Guru Varga, the full Guru Varga are filled with this, what we are discussing now. So many holy scriptures and the messages of our Guru Varga are filled with such positive hope, positive life, filled with the messages of life divine, very positive, prospective, a very positive, successful life, divinely successful life. So, we have got a lot of positive ground and positive scope. Hare Krishna. So, be singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra shortly. In your own way, will be